I'm trying to be kind of sort of vague about it, in the sense is that I don't want to take too much of my story into this, you know, because we all are trying to share. But yes, I do agree. I mean, I do relate to that blaming and how to deal with the blaming. And I try to, yeah.
Have you had something that borderlines are good at, where they give you a apology that's not an apology? It's sort of like, I'm sorry you feel bad, or I'm sorry you suck.
Yeah.
The words are essentially that. They flower
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
But it's essentially like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry you're
but if
weak.
you hadn't done
Yeah.
blah, 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 blah. I'm really
Yeah.
sorry. But if you hadn't, I wouldn't have. So my bad. Like, wait, what?
Right. And it's always feeling like I'm shitty. You know, it's like, oh God, okay, then I'll do it in a different way. You know, it just gets into that, which I know, you know, that it's not. He's just being a jerk, you know?
Well, he's just being himself. He's just being, because there's no one there.
Right.
I would argue that they can't do it, because in order to do that, they would actually have to have a sense of self, a real self.
Yeah.
And without a sense of self, they can't own it.
Yeah.
They can't say, oh, you know, yes, I that's, so yeah, it's impossible.
Yeah, it's difficult, and it's nice to know that there's an actual productive conversation. I don't look at I was reading, you know, everybody's, you know, background of why they're joining, and they'll say Bs and cluster Bs, and I'm like, what is this? To look up on this, like border personality disorder, I think, or is that
borderline?
Yeah, borderline personality disorder. Narcissistic is the one I, you know, kept looking at, and, you know, looking at it in him, and also trying to look at it in myself. And, you know, because you never know, it becomes like this weird, you feel like you never know. I always just want to assume.
If you're asking the question, I'll tell you something for nothing. If you're asking the question, you're not the borderline or the narcissist.
You know, because I'm
that's
like, okay,
always
I
the
want to
key,
look
right?
at everything.
Am I the borderline?
Sure.
No, you're not.
You know, I want to make sure I'm doing everything right to move forward. And he is just wanting to erase everything. And it's like, what are you talking about? And it is a part of my culture in India. Like, it's, you know, yeah, I mean, not all of them are like this, you know, but it's, you know, I'm just trying to, yeah.
We were talking about it last week, a little bit about cultural, because it's closed. And one of the things that happens is if you're a victim, what we call someone a victim, in a way, it's your fault. And they're the ones who get blamed. And
yeah. And then the other one is gloried, like, still like, hey, you're awesome, you know?
Yeah, but Indian culture is that the men, from my knowledge, I can't tell you about your own culture, obviously, forgive me, but from what I've experienced, it's the men are the matriarchs of the family, and what they say is everything, and everyone has to fall into line. Needless to say, I didn't last very long working for an Indian company under those conditions.
Yeah.
I wouldn't toe the line, and they found out the hard way.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand.
But the expectation, the expectation was that you would just do as you're told, and the matriarch, i.e., the CEO of the company, who's the family head, was just, that's it. You just did as you were told.
I know my husband will start. No,
who is this? Huh?
Huh?
What is your
iPhone
name?
is K.
This is iPhone.
K. Her name's K.
K. Hi, K. Oh, okay.
Hi.
Yeah.
My husband is saying, like, you know, eat this, do this, this is good. And I will tell him, how do you know? Did you try? He will say, no, I say so. I don't have, I don't have the,
Yeah.
I know it will work. I say so, so do it. I just ask general question. How do you know? Did you have experience, some natural remedies he was saying, and I did it and it didn't work. So I questioned him, asking him, did you try? Did it work on you? Then he will say, no, I don't have the tissue. I didn't try, but I say so it should work. Try it, when he's patriarchy, whatever, I was remembering that. Yes, he says, and you should.
I mean, I wonder, we're referencing it to culture, but maybe it's more of a gender thing. I mean, people in this group probably heard me say this before, but my ex, who's a Black male, in one of our therapy sessions said, quote, to the therapist, if she would just do like I say, we wouldn't have most of these problems.
Yeah.
End quote. Like, and he was serious. He wasn't, and
Yeah.
he said it very, like, he didn't say it in an angry place. He was like, well, I feel like if she would just do like I say, we wouldn't have half these problems. And he was serious. So
Yeah, he was.
That has some
He was
logic.
serious, yeah.
Yeah, he told me so many times, you can even kill a person, but just tell me, for everything he wants me to apologize, or if he says you are wrong, I should immediately say sorry. What nonsense is that,
Yeah, but how insecure and fragile are these men? My God, it's just little snowflakes that can't be questioned or challenged, or my God.
No,
No.
like in general, so many people now who leave my husband because I live with him, so I know him in and out, and I figured out. But so many other interactions for me outside, friends and everything, whom I thought are strong personality, slowly I'm finding out they are all insecure. That's why they were attacking me. It's not actually, to start with, it was not my personality or my problem. It took so
it
many
is.
years of research.
Arguably, Kay, it is, because you're getting right up their nose. They don't like that. So in other words, they want to keep you in your box, and the way they'll do that is all these little tricks that you're falling for. I wouldn't do it, but that's just me.
Yeah, I was internalizing, improving, and nothing was enough for anybody, and then I just gave up. So.
Oh, it's never good enough.
Yeah, well, that's the game.
Anyway,
There's something wrong. The game is, there's something wrong with you. You're broken. You need to do as you're told. Why can't you do as you're told? And I'll just keep shifting the chess pieces around the board until it gets boring. And that's
wanted to go to marriage counseling, right? Like again, we went to work out, but anyway, now he wanted, and this time I was smart. I told him, you go 4 sessions, tell your story, talk first, and then 5th I will come, because I don't have for his she says. And then I figured out his tactic even now was not improving, but just to tire me out. So I didn't go. But now I'm seeing he is going to several therapists, and one has given PTSD. I don't know the trauma I caused, or I have no idea. He doesn't share anything. I just find some, because he's so disorganized, I find papers everywhere while cleaning. Another person has given the ICD code, social anxiety, something like, childhood. When I Googled that ICD, it said childhood anxiety, and I don't know, whatever. Like, I didn't ask. I said, this is all.
he's trying to find. It's like shopping for a shirt. He's trying to find one that fits, that looks good on him. Which one does he want?
He went to so many people to prove I was bipolar, and everybody said all the sessions we have had, it doesn't show like that. She's not a threat to society. She's not a threat to herself. We can't do anything except suggest counseling, So he lost the battle. He didn't know what to do. Anyway, it's his job, his problem. He'll figure out.
Okay, let's see. Do they have... Let me throw this out here. This is more borderlines, but I would guess narcissists also do this tactic. It's a sort of 4-year-old competitiveness. Actually, codependents do this too.
I'm quite good at detecting borderline patterns of behavior, and I've said this even online. I can pick it up in the first few seconds of a conversation with somebody. And one of the things that I look for is this weird sense of childish competitiveness. They're extremely competitive. Why? Because of shame. They're ashamed, but they're not ashamed as, you know, a 41-year-old. They're ashamed as a 4-year-old.
So they're ashamed, and then part of some of the critiques
Yes,
we pointed out was,
so
you're not good enough, do as you're told. So they're
Yeah, yeah.
transferring their shame onto you because they're highly unstable.
No,
But then they argue this way. So listen to this part and see if that sort of makes sense.
They've lost a game, and they need to win that game. If they could just win that game. So any petty point, literally any fucking dumb thing at all that they can score against you, they'll take as a point, and it will slightly reduce the anxiety. Any petty point, weird sense of childish competitiveness.
Yep, exactly the same. Because my son is graduating and he got a out of the world offer. And then my husband is saying, Facebook is calling me. It's like nonsense, you know? Nobody
Facebook.
calls him.
For what?
Because my son
What
got
does Mr. Zuckerberg want, Kay?
Huh?
Competing with
Hasn't
his
Mr.
son.
Zuckerberg got
Yeah.
things to do?
No. My husband is competing with my son because my son got out of the world
Oh,
that my
Yeah.
husband
see,
got.
that's a narcissistic trait. They'll compete with their children, or they see their
No,
children as
it's so
competition.
subtle. It's so subtle. The kids, I don't know whether they can make out. So I told my son, please don't share your salary and all those information to anybody. I don't need to know either, He said, I knew I didn't want to share with you either, but he kept asking me question, what do I do, I said, okay.
Move out. Move out is the
So-
answer. That's the answer. Get out.
No, I said, okay, you told dad, but nope, zip your mouth to all his family, his brother and everything. They're all similar. They will get, I don't know. I don't even know what they will do. The
So are
salary,
you all living together, Kay? Are you all
So
living in
that's
one
the-
house?
yeah.
Huh?
Are you all living in one house?
No, just my husband and me, but I brought them up to be close with the family. So they are close with his brother and all those people.
So do you want to be with this guy? Do you want to be with this guy?
What?
Yeah, that's an interesting answer.
I thought about it.
I don't think you want to be with him. I don't think you want to be with him.
I know I don't want to be with him, but the thing
Right,
is,
well, then, so let's just wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
On to the next one.
No.
Who else? Who's next? So if you
I
don't want to be with him, why are you living with him? And why are we having these conversations? He needs to go.
It's complicated. But let's see how we can direct this. Where shall we go? Oh, how about this? Has anyone followed Naomi Osaka? She was the tennis player that cried #mental health. So let's see if we can learn from her frustrations or her issues.
I feel like for me, recently, like when I win, I don't feel happy. I feel more like a relief. And then when I lose, I feel very sad. And I don't think that's normal.
That's not normal. If she wins, she feels relief. And when she loses, she feels sad. Isn't that being codependent?
Normal.
Where's the spirit of sportsmanship? I hear you ask.
And then she's saying, I don't know if it's normal. That's also codependent. Right? Someone tell me how I should feel. I've been a good slave. I've won all these tournaments. Now I have no meaning. I'm finally safe. but I don't feel safe. I feel I have to always win. Then there's relief, but if I lose, I'm...
But do you know what, Dave? She'll still have the inflection, and that's what's most important. You know, why does everything sound like a question?
What is she, like 17 or something? So let's see what else she says.
And I didn't really want to cry, but basically I feel like...
That's good, see? I don't really want to cry, so this is how emotionally alexithymia she has. You can identify the feeling, but she doesn't know what to do with it. See that confusion? She's lost trying to explain what happened, or she's in a daze maybe because she lost the game.
And I'm done. Okay. Thank you.
No, I kind of want to finish this though. I'm sorry.
Oh, and see, someone tried to rescue her. Those damn fucking enablers. Girl might cry. Let's shut her down because we don't want to see her cry. Oh my god.
Yeah. So basically, I feel like... Okay. So...
Courage.
This is very hard to articulate. Well, basically, I feel like I'm kind of at this point where I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. And I honestly don't know when I'm going to play my next tennis match.
Oh, she almost broke down there.
Sorry. But...
Oh, right there. You see the eye cap covering her eyes?
Is she
That's
playing
shame.
this
Right
year?
there is shame.
Shame.
That's a physical expression of covering up her face. Of hiding. And she had a lot of issues doing interviews, so this is a sensitive topic. Plus she's half Japanese, so the Japanese culture is also very artifice. You have to keep a good, proper face. Now the tears are coming.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. The guy's trying to shut down her talk. Come on now. She's in the middle of crying.
Did you hear
We're
that
losing
sound?
Jeff. Have fun,
Jeff.
party. Good luck.
Have a drink for me, mate.
Live it up. Have a drink for me. Welcome, Carlos. We're freestyle today. We'll see if we cover anything interesting.
I'm sorry for being late.
You're right on time. But let's continue on the video another 20 seconds.
Okay, yeah.
What was that?
Yeah, what was
That's
that?
stopping herself from crying. Wake up, woman.
She's trying to
Don't
find
share
out
your
where she
feelings.
is. Where am I?
Oh, that's grounding. Yeah, that could be grounding.
Yeah.
I'm lost.
But I think I'm going to take a break from playing for a while.
I think I'm going to do this. How unclear is that?
She's so disconnected from her feelings. She's having the feelings, but she's sort of, they're over there.
See right there? So she understands she's supposed to keep a happy face. She knows the public wants this out of her.
Happy ending.
So she woke herself up, stopped crying, and then tried to create a narrative that would fit the pressure that she feels from society, from her family, from her coach, who knows. She feels like a slave. Is she playing out of her agency? Right? Very codependent.
Just before she did that, there's this place where she makes a sigh, which is like the primal sound.
Oh, a deep breath.
Like a
Freezing?
sigh.
Maybe she was freezing. A little bit of a frozen state. Ah, covers her face and bam, gone.
Yeah.
And then during the match, she like threw a racket a couple times and had a breakdown or something.
Is it the pressure she put on herself by herself, or the parents put it on her? I didn't read all those. I didn't follow the story much.
I don't know where the pressure is from, but she made it up to the top ranks and won a bunch of tournaments, which creates the pressure of her to continue winning.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
If you're playing just to win, that's a different motivation. But once you've won, now you have this public pressure to continue performing or to be the next Serena Williams. And that's different. Yeah. You're afraid of losing instead of just trying to knock down number one.
Wow.
And she had anxiety from the interviews and stuff. So, she was an example of hashtag mental health. And then the public gave her some lip service. Oh, she withdrew from the French Open, and she got a bunch of flack from that several months ago.
Is she in the US Open? Is it over US Open last week or?
Yes, it was two like really young teenagers who made it first time. And I think a UK woman won it versus a Canadian who was half Filipino. But that's sports. Sports, you can try to include mental health, but if you start losing, you cry mental health, the public just doesn't care about you.
See, right now, even in sports, they are giving some importance, saying, oh, people are speaking up and everything. More and more people do. Their story will be like our story too, you know. I mean, nobody will take them seriously afterwards.
Yeah, more people can cry mental health, but if you don't perform and you make the team lose, people will start losing interest. Right now,
doesn't understand that she's there for our entertainment.
Yes, see, that's the reality.
As soon as she stops entertaining, bye-bye.
Or they'll say boo. They'll start. I mean, we're aggressive here, and we'll just boo them. We'll boo them. And then we had a thumbs down thing with the Mets. I don't know if you'll see it, that the player went like this to the fans. So, oh my gosh, it was an explosion. And then the owners got on board and said, stop it. He blamed all the players. You got to perform. The fans are upset. The fans really care. How could you do this back to them? And it got into
and then we had a reality check that it's only sport.
It's not sport. They're entertainers. They must entertain.
No, this is religion. This is bordering on, we're the same. And our friends down in New Zealand who love rugby are worse. You see?
This public
really becomes the source of national pride for New Zealand. You're just talking about your local stuff. You take it to you've only got one sporting team in the whole country.
Oh, that's super serious. Yeah.
And the All Blacks in New Zealand never lose, do they?
Pretty cool, especially when they come
thank God. Oh yeah. They're gods.
I just watched a Trevor Noah comedy a couple of days ago where he was saying, you know, how US is obsessed with sports when compared to other countries where they do pre-game analysis, post-game, like, you know, this person scored this 10 years ago against this, all the statistics and everything. And you flip the channel, you go to the economic channel or whatever, they say, why is the economy like this? They say, oh, we don't know. Stocks go up and down. Like, you know, in the sense, like, you know, sports, they give so much importance. Rest of the things, you know, they just don't care, you know.
It makes money, Kate. It makes money, a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's why they do it. Yeah.
Yes, it matters a lot.
Plus, when you like Australia, you don't actually have a culture. You have to have something.
You have to have a circus.
You have to. That's why wintertime we don't have one football code. We have 5.
Yeah, different.
Take your pick, and there's nothing else to do. That's it. Wow. 5 football codes. Soccer, Aussie rules, rugby league, rugby union, and something else, and I forget it. So you better like sport, otherwise you got to get bored.
Sport.
But
Let's
I've
see.
noticed there was another lady in the American gymnastics team.
Simone Biles.
Yeah. And in a way, there's more empathy for someone breaking down. Some of it is like the liberal bullshit, but some of it is becoming aware that these things happen.
Well, she has to break down in the right narrative. If she breaks down in the wrong narrative,
Then gone.
yes. But right now, there's a more hashtag mental health framework. But it's trying to call out how, it's trying to point out how athletes are people, but athletes are also performers. They're paid to perform.
Yes.
That's also a giant expectation. So,
And they're remunerated accordingly, Deeth. That's the problem.
yes. So then it's easy to lose yourself in that role. And then this is sort of a case study
So
to
these
try to
are
get
so
something deeper.
if you take LeBron James and all, like, you know, the amount of mindfulness and all he does to stay where he is. I mean, we don't know most of the work they do. You know, these days I heard even in NFL and all, they focus more on mindfulness than, you know, stretching and all that stuff, because that is needed for these players to stay where they are and keep performing, you know.
Yeah, but there's a limited lifespan unless
Mhm.
you're Tom Brady. That's the football player that lives forever, right? So he's, but
Seems
most
like
of them,
it.
most of them, their career's over by what, 30, 35, maybe 38. Tom Brady
Yeah.
seems to never age, so he's clearly sold his soul to the devil. But that's the reality. You've got a very limited career, and then what do you do
Narrow
next?
range. You're
What
being
do you do
used
afterwards?
for,
You end up as a commentator on TV.
Mhm.
That's boring. Or you have to have some other thing. When I was a kid growing up in Adelaide, the football players or the local football league would all end up running used car yards because that's all they could do. And that's changed a bit, but realistically, they're never going to get that high from running out onto the field or the adulation. That all disappears. I mean, and you can see them fall in a ditch afterwards because it's all gone. I wouldn't necessarily wish that life on anybody, really. I think it'd be quite horrible.
Just had a thought about performance that so there are these men and women performing out there in the fields for entertainment, but some of us like I just thought, aren't we performers? Like we say, you know, be like a compliant good boy. You perform this way, we perform that way. So it's become that way that we have got taken on this persona of a performer in the family. And then
you're a good performer, but if you're a bad performer, then the spotlight's on you.
No,
But if you're a good performer, they only see your performance. They don't see you. So lose.
Yeah. So with the Indian culture, what we were talking about before was that it's not performance. There is a lot of wisdom as well on the one extreme, but in the practice of it, especially after the invasions and the adulteration of the culture, Wagner talked about objects and internal objects and external objects. So they have, as a culture, very little affection for external objects. So the way it'd be, suppose, Brad, you came over to my company and we were talking and said, hey, have a cup of tea, listen. And to hey, you motherfucker, instantly to treat one person like this and one person like this in the same meeting. So the concept.
Yeah, that's actually very good. But that's the caste system, is it not? I mean, I know we're talking Indian culture when there are Indian people in the room. I want to be sensitive to that. But my experience is the caste system was very, I didn't understand it. And I was being very nice to the butler who was walking around the office in Chennai. And I was told not to talk to him because he was a very low caste. Kesavan was lovely. But no, you don't talk to Kesavan. Don't worry about that. Like, well, why not? He brings me my coffee when I push the button.
So caste is there too. That's more at the marriage level. Then the caste comes up. But in social interaction, class, like how much money and your status, that
I will say one thing is that as a white male, I was afforded an enormous amount of privilege, which I was very conscious of. And that was somewhat jarring. And then it became comfortable being called Mr. Kelly and having people bowing. And it was just but it was, I couldn't really, initially it's like, God, what's this?
You guys might not know this. They've got a product called Fair and Lovely. So they wish it being whiter. It's just amazing.
Yes. Yeah. Whiter skin.
The guys are doing it now, just to get a little tone. But so that performance, and if you are a performer, and with the theme that you had in mind about inner state stability, because no one is seeing the inside, and then you just feel stuck.
You aren't seen, and you're stuck on the role.
You're seen for who you are. You're seen for what you do.
So let's see if we can get some emotions, because we're sort of slower now. Here's a case study. I've been holding this video for a while.
But it's important, I think, for you to know you are very smart. You're very good at this, and that's why most people don't catch on. You're very, very, very good at it. I'm not sure what happened to you that made it so important to not be visible or findable.
You see how cool? How he's holding this sort of rigid, cool, I'm above it all, you can't get to me type of feeling. But watch as the therapist is able to point out the facade and see him break down a little.
You would know best about that. But people don't usually do this unless somebody important to them early in life, where they learned, wow, if I show up in some particular way emotionally, there's going to be big trouble. And then so you learn what it is they like to see, what it is they don't want to see, and you just make sure they see whatever it is they like to see, and you're good.
But everyone doesn't like me. I mean, there are people who don't choose.
See, scrambling. Everyone doesn't like me, so that means I need to work harder at the performance. He doesn't want to really embrace the message or consider it.
Not like me from the first moment.
Yeah. Well, they catch,
for no reason.
Well, they catch. No, they have a reason. They don't like. They kind of catch on the facade and they don't like it. Yeah, there's always going to be some people that catch on the facade. They're just not going to like it. And then you're going to have some people who don't catch on, and that kind of works on. They enjoy the friendliness and so on. But some people are going to catch on to the facade and the rapid patter, which gives them an idea that there's some kind of facade you're putting on.
Oh, that's evil. He pointed out the rapid patter is tell.
And they're not. And there are going to be people who react to that. And well, it's not that they don't like you; they don't like the facade. They actually never get to meet you. That's what you have to be really clear about. People aren't rejecting you. They're not reacting to you. They're reacting to the facade. They're meeting the facade.
Look at his eyes, though. He's sort of stunned.
Oh, that's murderous rage.
But he can't show rage. That's the other thing. Yeah.
They never get to meet you. But that facade of the pattern and all that, there's something about that there's going to be some people that just can't stand it, and they're just going to want to stay away.
He's showing
this is
disdain
about
for him.
Yeah, an hour and a half of posturing back and forth before he calls him out. So he was trying to say you didn't need help, so it was all just posturing about I don't need you and blah blah blah. I'm fine. So then the therapist is able to find the buttons and point this out.
But even though they will have rejected your facade, they actually will have never met you. They will actually have no clue about who you really are. And they'll oftentimes equate that facade with you, not realizing they don't have a clue. They don't know who you are. And there's a part of you that knows that.
Yeah.
Nervous laughter.
Yeah. You got me,
Part
is
of you
what
knows
that
that you're
says.
actually being unfairly judged. part of you knows they're judging the facade, but they actually haven't met you. And part of you really resents that they equate you with a facade and that they don't see who you really are underneath.
Watch it sink in.
So, what do I do about that?
So it's not fully sunk in because he's sending the agency outward. You give me the answer to be a better performer. That's why it's a projection. And then therapist blocks the projection, so this is a more intense therapy, where most therapists would take the bait, taking the ownership. So you don't have to do anything. Now he opens up his face like, oh, what the fuck?
What do you mean?
You don't have to do it.
I'm living a lie.
Now there's a start. He's owning that he's living a lie. He didn't do that the whole meeting. Yeah. Now he's starting to consider to take some ownership. That's where it's an alliance instead of a projection.
Yep.
So just keep living the lie?
That's more posturing, but he blocks that posturing.
That's one option. People do it every day. You probably can think of people who do that every day. You could probably point to a few people, maybe even a half dozen people at that rehab place that are living a lie. People do it.
Oh, we're losing Danny. So sad. Oh, playing. I'm jealous. Or it's also work. But bye, Danny. And then we lost Carlos. I don't know if we scared them off.
But we got a free Kurt instead.
And Kurt's trying to connect. He might be on cell phone or something. But he has a nice photo.
Oh, boom.
But
I can relate to that character.
let's continue. Ooh.
How can I find this out for myself?
That's a more open question. But he had to set this up for like an hour, hour and a half. Because you have to get to the inner child or the crack baby, the part of you that wants to change, that knows who you are. If you're talking to the performative fawn self, your public face, your safe face, your manager part, that part doesn't know who you are.
What do we need to look for?
Well, there. So that's the realization. That's sort of manufactured rock bottom, to say. What do I need to look for? And that's the end of this clip, because it was just long, slow posturing. Any reactions? What do people think? Could people
I
relate?
think it's amazing that he got to the place. I mean, I know you said it took some, like it was an hour, for him to just, but I don't know who's at the other end speaking to him, but I think it's amazing that he got from point A to point B in the time that he did. I know it's not solved, but just hearing the questions he's asking at a certain point in this, and that's powerful.
This style is called ISTDP, which stands for Intensive Short-Term Dynamic Psychotherapy. And Kurt has audio now. Welcome, Kurt. But he might be moving or something. But the tricky part with codependents and also athletes is when you become a performer. I guess we'll have to mute Kurt.
Yeah, let's shut him up.
Gets his
Thanks,
microphone
Kurt.
in
It's
order.
been real. Shut up now.
Oh, we get Holly back.
We got a Holly.
Hi guys. I'm
Hi.
driving home.
Welcome back.
Hi Deb.
How was your flight?
Hi, Holly.
Oh, I didn't get to fly yet, but I tell you, I want to take lessons. I've been wanting to take lessons the past 3 years, and I'm thinking about it.
Ooh, exciting.
Just to even get up there in the plane, it's like so cool. Yeah.
Nice.
What'd I miss? Are you still studying?
Oh, we solved all the problems. We fixed all the narcissists, and we're just going to shut everything down.
Yes.
I think Kay's disappeared.
We lost
Kay?
Kay and we lost
We lost
Carlos.
Kay. We lost.
Do you mean lost, or just for the evening?
They just bailed.
Don't know.
Oh.
It's called an Irish. It's called an Irish goodbye. You just walk out and you just disappear.
How's your sister, Holly?
Say that again.
How's your sister?
So she's doing better, but she's left with some, painful gastroesophageal reflux, which I tried to get her on some apple cider vinegar, but it's coming and going. So she's just going to have to deal with that until it resolves. But she's going to get tested to see where she's at with the COVID. She doesn't have a fever, so she's probably finished with the COVID.
Oh.
Thanks. Yeah, well, we were talking about the one with COVID, right?
Oh shit!
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's vaccinated and got it, and she had pretty bad symptoms there for a while. Yeah. But it was radiating pain from the GERD. That's really probably what it was, radiating pain in her chest, and she has lung issues, so,
GERD. Ouch. Oh. So life as a performance. The fawn
So,
self.
Deef, on that clip, what's the backstory with that guy? Is he presented to? Is he presented as part of the justice system? Is there any context that sits around it, or not really?
I think he was an addict, and he had a long history of living in the margins. It's been a while since I've seen the whole thing, but mostly it's about this. You create an artifice, you get good at it. He's good at manipulating acceptance, but that keeps him from getting actual therapy because he doesn't show his real self.
Right.
So this was a success story to get him to finally own that he was putting up a front and the downsides of living a lie.
Sitting in
living the artist's dream, living the artist's life.
But I think he's sitting in a very pensive posture, and I have a feeling he's thinking that someone is actually willing to see that guy inside me, that boy.
He's finally getting somebody to help him own the pain of being invisible.
Yeah, because just the way he's sitting, it's like he's contemplating and.
Oh, that's a posture of the jig is up. He's worked out very quickly that the shrink has got him. Yeah.
Well, at this point, yeah.
I think what this says is, you know what? Yeah, I have to concede defeat on this one.
This was at the start, see? So I'm waiting on you. I'm testing you. So that's a more aggressive
and yeah, what are you going to do?
Testing posture.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, come get me, big boy. Come get me, big boy.
You can't get to my heart. See?
Yeah.
And then he gets sloppy and desperate here because he starts covering up his face.
Yeah.
So there's a pregnant pause every time the psych gets through that sliver of light or that sort of break. there's a pause because he doesn't know what that's off script. So he's trying. It looks like he's scrambling to try and, because normally he's controlling the script, and now the psych has got him, and he can't get any traction. It's really good.
It's a good standoff. If you guys, or some of you guys, are good at reading body language, so let's for the final video. I think it's like 3.5 hours though. That's why. But I think this might be a second or third session. So you look at, he's more softer now.
Yeah.
If you just read his face, he's more relaxed,
More expressive too.
Showing his arm. Mm.
and he's reflective, and he's relaxed in his body compared to that earlier.
Yeah.
I can smile.
Yeah, there's someone
And now
home.
he's starting to be playful.
Yeah, there he is.
And now you're starting to get that inner
Yeah.
child
Someone
integrated.
home.
Rather than gloss over them and willing to face, I didn't learn as much as the last 10 years, and I'd like to learn a whole lot more in the next 10. Well, one.
Where's the part where he talks?
I just don't know if I'll find it.
And could that be a self-doubting mechanism?
Yes.
And that self-doubt, is it helping you move forward, or does
No.
it keep you in park?
It's keeping me groping in the dark.
Yeah. In fact, it keeps you from groping in the dark. It keeps you from looking inside.
So he's got one hand covering part of his face, so that's his defenses. But now they're sort of working on the same team, so that's where you have an alliance instead of posturing at the other video clip.
You for the key.
That's reflection, pensiveness.
We don't even know who you're going to become.
Oh, this is the thing. If a codependent, you give up your performative mask. Who are you going to become? What next? That's like Naomi, who made it to be a winner. What is she after being a champion? Was her goal to be a giant champion, or was she just satisfied winning and getting to the top? Staying at the top is a much different goal. And not being a player anymore, what do you become? How do you take this? You have to constantly be creating something to focus on.
Tremendous potentials. We don't even know what they are yet. Doorway after doorway after doorway. And the doubt just keeps you from opening doors. Finding out who you are, who you could become.
And that's the therapist selling him on himself. If you had parents who never sold you on yourself, all you know is how you're ashamed, how you're not good enough, how you just need to follow orders. Who's genuinely advocating and trying to cheerlead you to become a better you? Long
So I think
pause.
that's it down. I feel like there's an exercise, there's something I can do, a practice.
Is that a defense? Let's see.
You thought the doubt was you, rather than the barrier to becoming you.
I don't understand.
You thought doubting yourself was you. But doubting yourself is what keeps you from looking inside, finding out who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Keeps you from exploring, from trying, from becoming.
So he's holding space for the doubt right there. because what he said earlier was, I need a practice. I need a practice is essentially saying, I want to grasp. I want some certainty. I want some control. That's a good nuance he did. That's part of today when I was trying to talk about dissociation in the person meeting. And I was trying to talk about my meditation practice. And then Allison and some other people were trying to say, tell me the answer now. I was trying to show her how I was benefiting from meditation practice and how that turning point was, but she wanted to simplify something that she could grasp instead of the natural process, which is it just happened. If you develop a contemplative practice, you slowly unwind and you get awareness and you build it as a muscle, but it's not a formulaic type thing. And part of healing from codependence is discovering your inner self. It's not about putting another artifice on top of yourself. It's not about another performance. So he opened, or the patient saw the doubt. He gave a little room and he said, I need a practice. My manager part needs something to control. And he reframed it to try to send it back to him. Let's stay in doubt. Maybe doubt allows you to explore who you are. Because doubt was used by narcissists. Narcissists sow doubt into you and they gaslight you. So you've associated doubt as danger. But if doubt is the way to your inner child, but you think doubt is dangerous, so you cling to certainty, you never get to find out who you are. Welcome back, iPhone. Maybe that's Kay.
Yeah, my daughter called. I had to pick up.
Oh,
I missed it.
exciting night.
Yeah.
Well, this is a continuation of a case study, so just try to follow along.
Okay.
How do I move past it down?
That's also asking, that's genuine or not? Is he trying to get an answer so he can control it? Or is he going to open space for doubt?
What do you notice feeling when you say that?
Ah, that's good. How do I get past the doubt is like, how do I get out of this space? How do I fix it? What do I do to perform? And then he says, well, what do you notice feeling?
I feel like I don't know how.
I don't know how. That's also fixating now. Dig in a little. Oh, you see his expression there? Does anyone see that? Give me a bone. Help me, help me, help
That's
me.
like a sad child. That's like sad
Yes.
baby.
Yeah. Yeah, like
He was
That's
never
crack
given
baby.
space. Yeah. Yeah. As a child, he was never given space to find himself, figure it out by himself. He always deferred to authority. He always looked in someone else's space to, how do I perform? Am I safe? What's the right way? Someone tell me. He's looking for top down.
calling for help.
Codependency. Top down. You tell me what to think. Codependency. Top
That's what he's
down.
looking for.
You tell me what to think.
But it's an inner child. That's a beautiful facial expression for people that can recognize that.
I feel like I don't know how.
Oops.
And there's a part of your mind that doubts and says, you won't figure that out. You can't do that. You're not able to know stuff like that.
See the leg shaking? See a little bit of a grin that he's found out, or his protective parts being called out?
It's almost a relief.
Yeah, he's relaxed.
Yes.
He's relieved.
It is a
It's
relief.
like, finally, yeah.
Got to face it.
Finally, that part can be brought to light. And it's not dangerous if the other person is seeing it, pointing it out, and not adding judgment and shame, blame shifting. There's space. But there's still probably some testing.
There's a part of your mind that doubts you and calls itself intelligence. And it's just self-doubt. There's 1,000 ways it can put you down.
Oh, calling the inner critic
You
out.
can always come up with all the reasons. But then when we look at 12 years of results, we have to look at it with a little bit more suspicion now.
12 years of
12
failure.
years of self-doubt doesn't seem to have done you much good.
Hey, agrees. Is he gonna break down? Is he gonna cry?
I do.
12 years?
Doubting.
I'm willing to bet that the doubt was very effective at doubting you, and it really didn't doubt drugs very much.
Oh! Didn't doubt the drugs. How dare the doubt not
It
protect
doubted the
him?
wrong things and had faith in the wrong things. It should have had faith in you instead of drugs.
Ooh, that's
That's
a big
good.
call. That's a big call, Mama. Ooh.
It had everything upside down.
That's ownership. He's really reflecting back. The price of the defense.
Well, if I can be successful again, the doubt will go away. That's how I feel right now. If things will start to work right, then I can restore my self-confidence.
He's still trying to control things.
I need the world to relate to me differently, so I will start to relate to myself differently.
Look at that call out.
I need the world to be kind to me, so I'll stop being cruel to me.
Ah! There's a sigh that Pankaj pointed out. That's a deep sigh.
This is backwards.
Have you ever noticed that when we wait for the world to be kind to us, it's sometimes kind of a long wait?
It's sometimes kind of a long wait. So you're waiting for the world to be kind to us. You're waiting for the world to finally be safe so you can poke your head out and finally have some fun. But how many years have you been waiting? So it could keep going on, but I think it's kind of slow.
I have given up. I'm waiting for the shuttle to the Mars.
Shuttle to the mass?
No, Mars.
I'm not following. Does someone understand?
No, you said that guy was, world needs to be kind. How long you can wait?
Yeah.
I am saying I was like, I'm saying I'm not, I have given up on the world. I'm waiting for the shuttle to the Mars because I know now civilians are going somewhere now, right?
It's a joke. She wants to go to export herself to Mars because everything is bad here.
Oh,
Mars.
Mars. Oh,
Shuttle to Mars.
Okay.
Not mass. Okay. That's
Yeah, let's get some spelling going here.
Need some subtitles on this one, Kay.
Well, that's the problem with that.
There's
Is
a
you're
lot of
trying
accents
to,
in this room.
You're trying to escape to a better place. That's also a codependent answer. That's also maybe why you were given a spiritual pointer, because part of spirituality is recognizing that the present moment, the divine is here.
No, I mean, some extreme days, I mean, I'm not able to handle. Most days I'm okay. I'm just minding
Yes, but
my own
in
things.
those extreme days, that's when the divine is most present. But until you have that lived experience, that pointer is worthless.
Hmm.
It's a tricky pointer, so I usually don't want to dive too much into that. But 12th step, I think the first step is you must give up you must recognize a higher power or something. How do they phrase the first step?
Admit your powerlessness.
See, so that initially sounds like that's a negative, but when you admit your powerlessness, you open yourself up to your intuition, to your guidance, to a higher power, to greater forces. So then it's not all on you. The performance isn't all on you. You're not holding the world together based on doing the right thing or not doing the wrong thing. So that lowers the burden.
I don't think I'm responsible for the world or anything. I always thought, I'm responsible only for the 2 children and my husband. But because my children are gone to college now, and my husband, how much ever you try, he's like that. Like, I'm like, oh my God, what do I, is it even worth living,
Is it worth living? See?
So you're an empty nester. What do empty nesters do?
Normally what they will hang out with friends and everything. Right now, actually, he did go to some get together of it's a family get together of some of the girls and their husbands, spouses. We used to meet together, and it's just that, like, I don't like those topics. The men topics are okay, the girls topics I don't like, but like, I didn't go. I said, tell them I'm not well. So.
Ape.
Yeah, we barely heard that, but we're in need of an experience.
Oh, that was a mistake. I was trying to get a link. We have Shelly. Shelly missed everything.
Hey, sorry.
We already solved everything.
You missed that,
You
Shelley.
missed it all.
Oh no, I knew it. Okay, I'll try to follow along.
Yeah, we
So,
didn't cover anything.
Hey,
It's
when you
just-
said you're responsible for your husband and you're responsible for the 2 kids, so do you feel in your guts that you're also responsible for yourself?
No. I mean, I am happy already, but if he is unhappy, I could sense it, I become sad too. And I try to, I mean, so there is only so much I can do. I accept him as such. He's really handsome, smart. I have no idea why he doesn't like himself. I have told him this exactly the same words. When I don't have problem with you, why are you having problem with yourself, It's so strange. I absolutely.
I can't imagine why he doesn't react positively to that, Kate.
He cannot be vulnerable, right? Like, he is just so quiet.
How can he when you do that?
I even told him,
I'm going to shut up.
loudly, I said,
You can't bash someone. You can't bash someone into doing this. It's not going to happen. Sorry.
Is he a person with, if he's a person with NPD, then yeah, he'll always bash himself. He's a covert vulnerable.
But if he's open enough to share that
I get the impression he's trying.
That's
what you've said.
A call to be
like
gentle. It's not a call to raise the temperature.
Well, were you ever gentle at some point? I mean, my husband did the same thing. I mean, it didn't matter how gentle I was. He beat himself mercilessly.
Right now I decided not to play a role of therapist and everything, whenever I have the energy, I just treat him like child. I hug and kiss and, whatever, make him comfortable and everything. But some days I don't, I'm pissed off too. But I let myself not to judge. Those days I just take the car, go somewhere. But 90% of the days, I just try to, forget everything. Just like, make him feel special, hug, kiss, dress, the way he likes. I try my best. That's all I can do. But there are some days that, I need somebody to, show some unconditional love on me too. So those are the days I miss talking to somebody, but what to do?
Do you have empathy for him, Kay?
I do, yeah. Empathy, compassion, everything. I feel I'm coaching my daughter too. She's little similar, but at least she's self-aware, and she told me I'm self-aware. That is the first step. So at least she calls now and then for therapy. She doesn't call therapy, but anyway, she at least calls and listens. That's why I hung up and picked up her phone. I know she's upset. That's why she called. That's the only time she thinks of me. But anyway, I if my husband is not comfortable talking all these things, I send so many podcasts, economic stuff that he likes. You don't respond to anything. How else can I connect, right? I
But the
don't want to
question
talk about.
remains, do you have empathy? Do you have empathy for him?
I think I do. So what do you want me to do?
No, I just wondered because it doesn't sound like there's a lot of empathy for him. He sounds like he's trying. Maybe that's all he can do.
You are saying I don't have empathy for him and he's trying?
No, I didn't say that. What I'm saying is, my question is, do you have empathy for him? Because maybe if this is all he can do, then you'd have to have empathy for him in order to be able to put yourself in his shoes.
I do, but it's see, I don't have parents, right? I don't have anybody, and I'm helping myself. And therapist is not available 24/7 for me to call her. And who do I call when I'm,
So it sounds like your husband has to do a number of different roles.
He doesn't need
for him to do.
roles. As long as he doesn't hurt me, that's good enough. He doesn't need to do any roles.
Does he hurt you?
No, it's better now because I'm strong in boundaries. So he no longer can hurt me the way he did. But
so how did he hurt you?
What do you mean? He was first few years, I was so strong. I pushed back and my mom died. And slowly, I guess I was weak. And I started accepting maybe, I am person with problem. So I need to change. They are all right. I changed. But I would have changed and remained the same, naive person. But the stupid medications didn't work at all. That's when I started researching, oh my God, how much medication do I take? Then I went back to my old self. I became stronger.
So what does that mean, stronger?
I used to be independent. Then I became so dependent, Now I never had my own bank account, though I earned all the time. And I thought once you are married, you shouldn't, why should you have your own bank account, right? You are one and the same, you are married. My friends and all used to tell me, oh, if he doesn't allow you to spend, why don't you have your own account? I say, Yes, it's not like he doesn't allow me to spend. He yells at me if I spend. I'm not scared of him. I still spend. He should know I'm not going to hide. And then I realized these are all unnecessary fights. So after 26 years of marriage, I said, okay, let me avoid that fight. And I put 5,000 in my account and I opened an account. And that made him berserk. So he separated all the finances. And I realized my own money, my name was never there in any of the things. I don't have access to any of the common accounts. I said, forget it. I don't really need the money, but
It's okay. This doesn't sound like a fight about money. This sounds like a fight about control.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. He is also not into money. It's just that I need to be under his control. That's it.
Well, no, Kate, it's your control too.
What?
So
yeah, but the accounts aren't in her name.
Who's controlling who? Who's controlling who?
The accounts are in his name, so she doesn't have control.
Okay, but she also could have had a conversation instead of removing $5,000 to continue doing the practice, which was already problematic. So a conversation was what was needed, and communication.
No. I said $200 a month. Don't ask me questions.
Okay, that's not communication.
Well, the communication she was receiving was a reprimand for every dollar she spent.
No, that's not what happened.
What did you say?
Sorry, Holly. What I'm trying to get at is I think there needs to be some empathy for the husband here. I'm not trying to diminish what you're saying, Kay, but he can't be, if he is this monster, this abusive, narcissistic monster, I'm struggling to see how that's working. Is it possible that we can find some empathy for him?
Yeah, he may be flawed. We're all flawed. He may have been doing stupid things, saying stupid things, etc. Yeah. But that doesn't make him an automatic assumed monster that you can, paint black and white. If you're not having an open dialogue, even if it's difficult, I mean, that's the challenge. You have to have the fucking difficult discussion of.
No. I never thought he's a narcissist or he is abusing. I thought he's trying to make me better. And I asked him, I'm becoming better. I just transferred 5,000. I sent him all the details of those accounts too. It's not like I did it in hiding. I gave, all the information, the account number, everything. I just told him, I told you, give me 200, it's not working. So anyway, whatever the point is.
So it's not about money. It's not about money, is it?
It's not about money. I think he just,
So what's it about? What's it really about?
It's about, though as I told you, I don't have any problem with him. He just feels I'm doing better than him at work. Even that, it's all.
So hang on. So it's about how he feels. Is that right?
Yes, that's all. It's about.
So it's about how he feels. How does he feel?
He seems to feel jealous inside,
How do you know that? How do you know how he feels?
Slowly, I am seeing, my daughter got into Wharton, right? And then when she
No. How does he feel?
He comes and puts his degree, MS degree, which he got 35 years ago.
This is control, right? This is all about control, and you're all competing with each other.
No, I'm not competing with anybody.
Yeah, we're talking about money and degrees. It's very competitive.
No, I'm not. I mean, you don't understand. I do have a spending habit, right? So I have a little bit of addiction. I'm aware of it.
So you've got a spending addiction?
A little bit of it? A little bit?
Could that be why he's trying to control the bank accounts?
I think she claims it's a limited budget. It's a cheap spending budget, I think. I recall.
Small
But
one.
asking about the feelings, it seems like that's a good pointer, that there could be some alexithymia. So a little bit of emotional blindness to both her feelings and the husband and family members' feelings, because there's a lot of chaos.
See, technically, if you see my income bracket and what I spend and what other girls of my things spend, what I do is nothing. I am saying I'm spending habit because,
Bradford's framing it under control. I could frame it under shame, public shame. So the competition is there maybe culturally that she has to meet certain standards, and everyone's so busy performing. They don't see each other.
That there's another way. They're all connected, but looking at that video that you showed, and the metaphor that the tennis star and the Olympic star, performers, what do you do after that? Nothing else. And then connecting it back to codependency and how as kids, we are performers. And culturally, I know my mum and dad, so dad would earn and he would just come in the old days, have the cash and he just gives it to mum. And then it's like, there's this thing of, there's one unit now. They don't believe there's 3 units now. There's just together, not 2 separate ones as well. So if you live in a culture, come from a culture in which the relationships are about, they're performative, like a wife does this and a husband does this. So you never actually get to see the people inside. And that seems to be what the battle of this is about, because I can relate to in many families in Indian culture, they don't actually connect like friends might do, like just have a enjoy, have a walk. But it's like a wife does this, husband does this, and it's like the whole thing is they actually say it in some spiritual context as well. Life is a drama. You do your role, and everything will be good and hoary. Yeah.
Oh, I like that. Why don't more people do that? Life is a drama. Do your role. Stay out of my business.
Yeah, there is a word for it. Maya. Maya is the thing,
Yes.
Life
or
is
Leela. Leela, like the dance.
Yeah.
Life is a dance. Beautiful.
Not to take things so seriously in the big perspective. In an esoteric thinking, I'm just saying.
So, Kay, what do you want your husband to do?
No, I don't have expectation out of anybody. I just want to work on I don't have expectation out of my
No
kids,
expectation.
Nobody.
No changes. No, we don't want change. We just want to be able to continue to
Talking
have
of drama.
to be the victim, right? We want to be the victim.
If you are not aware after 26 years, then you are not going to change. I changed few things that I also agreed it's the fault. I tell him
So
I'm good at ABC.
You've done all the work. He's done nothing, and you're upset. Is that the bottom line here?
Yes. See, people.
Yeah. So he's a complete. So he's he hasn't met your expectations. Is that correct?
No, not like that. See, everybody is not good A to Z, right? I am telling him I am good at ABC. You are good at XYZ. We complement each other.
What does he tell you?
Huh?
What does he tell you? You keep telling him what he's good at. You keep telling him all this stuff. What's he telling you?
I told all these before. Now that we have to make it work. I'm telling him after this much of research and medicine's not working. I told him I took for 15 years medicine. That time also you kept saying mental case. You need to be trained in a hospital. I was submissive. I did nothing. What? You are not happy. Then now I changed. I'm doing aggressive things. You are not happy now. All I told us, I am good at ABC. You are good at XYZ. We complement each other. In fact, we are not even good at the same thing. I cannot definitely, clap you for A to Z. That's not my personality. Unfortunately, I can't do that. Everything like a 2-year-old. You stand, I clap. You sit, I clap. Nope, I can't do that, you know. So that's where we are. So.
But is there something you think he could do on a particular evening, say tomorrow night, that you would say, that's a good evening, that's a nice time? Like what might that look like?
See, as I told you, looks like some people are only takers. So as I told you, I do whatever I can when I am, you know, happy with myself. You know, I dress up and, you know, I do whatever he likes, you know.
You sound like a saint, Kay.
Who?
You do, Saint Kay.
No, because
you haven't done any. Yeah, look, it sounds like to me, to my mind, you've done everything right. You've done everything you possibly. You've taken every drug on the planet. You've done everything right. He is 100% to blame. Absolutely.
That's not what I said. Like, you know, right now when I changed, and you know, I don't know. I mean, it's I don't think people know both of us, and you know, it's hard. That's why it's very hard, even for therapists. You know, so like.
So what do you want? What is it that you want? Tell us what you want.
I'm not expecting anything from the husband. You know, I just came to the meeting right now because I was.
I mean,
you have to want some sort of change, right? I mean, do we want to improve something, or do we just want it to be the same? We just want to have people support us. Tell us we're great.
I realized, you know, like I need to have XYZ friends for XYZ of my needs, but it's just that so hard to find. That's all. I cannot expect.
Sorry, I'm not following you because we don't know what you want. So I'm trying to work out what it is that you're looking for, what you want from this relationship.
Relationship. I do like deep conversations, and I realize that's all not going to happen with him. So I just need to find people. That's it. Sometimes
Why can't you have a deep conversation with him? Why can't you have a deep conversation with him?
Oh, because I don't know. I think that scares him. So that his personality seems to be different. So.
You think it might have to do with unresolved issues that are getting in the way, that you can't have a conversation because there's too many minefields and triggers and unsaid things and too many battles that have been pushed in the background?
Not about life. Even if I send him a Planet Money podcast, the economic thing, and ask him.
That's not a conversation. That's not a conversation. So you're dumping. You're giving him things to read and things to listen to and all that. My earlier question was, do we have empathy for him? And the reason I asked that is, how would he like to be communicated to? How does he like?
Do you meet him where he is?
Because he might not like being pointed to podcasts and books and things.
Oh, he is the one who introduced me, you know. I picked up from him when he's charismatic in all the meetings. I used to ask him, where do you read all these, Shekhar? You know, which website do you talk so interestingly, you know? And then I stumbled upon podcasts, and I found all these interesting. Nowadays, lots are coming. He used to do many years ago. I don't know where he used to read. He just talks so smart in all the meetings, and everybody will be, watching him. He can talk all the topics on earth,
So he sounds like quite a smart guy.
He is very intelligent, yeah. But I do not know why he doesn't have the confidence. I told him to quit and go back to school and...
I think I know. You won't give him any space. I think he's just shut up like a book.
No. In the beginning, he didn't
Yes. Because you just shut everything down, Kay. You gotta have some empathy for him.
Oh, I think
you gotta give him some space.
talk something else. I just came for distraction. I don't want to talk about this. I don't think it's going anywhere.
No, I didn't think so. Mm.
Yeah.
I have an idea. And it is that, so when I asked you, so you feel responsible for your husband and the two children, do you feel responsible for yourself? What I was meaning was, do you feel that the relationship of husband and wife in your case is off, that you're performing the wife role, and therefore you have not seen that the crack baby, like we talked about a few times ago, and because you don't have empathy for your baby, and because of that, what Brad is saying is that, is it possible that you don't actually have empathy for your husband, and so nothing can happen except performance? And if it's a bad foxtrot, it's just a bad dance. You can't do anything with, or you learn the moves.
The other way around. People, whatever you call it, empathy or sympathy or compassion, whatever you call it, they cannot relate to it because that's not how they feel. That's why, they just give me silent treatment, not just him. Quite a few people do so.
Do you have empathy for yourself?
For what? What?
Yes. Why should she have empathy? What is empathy?
Yeah, I don't understand.
Yeah.
I have self-love. I like myself.
What is empathy?
I'm happy with myself. I have no problem with me.
She's claiming she's fine. Why do you want to give her more work? What empathy?
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a wasted time.
Just do your role. My goodness. What's wrong with you Westerners with feelings and shit? Everyone be a good slave and keep Maya going.
Sit down, shut up, do the dishes, don't leave the kitchen.
In a sense, we could try to spin this and say that sometimes in Western culture we blame narcissists and borderlines as undeveloped or development disorder. But Chinese culture, Indian culture, I'm guessing that maybe there's a unintegrated inner child compared to Westerners. So a lot of that assumptions that we're projecting from Western culture doesn't give space for
doesn't wash through. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So then.
No, but can I just say that it's also that in Asian cultures and Indian cultures, like it's transactional. It's like you're born already into,
You're born as property. And what's wrong with that?
So if that's all you know, that's like, it's like, okay, that's how it has to go. It's like, okay, you're born already owing your parents. You're born already owing somebody something.
Just like the Z generation, they're born into debt for all the boomers spending. The future is fully indebted, but Asian culture, Indian culture, Chinese culture, the kids are born into obligation. There's no choice.
Yeah. So what I'm thinking is that if you only know the performative way of living, you just find good performance partners and life can be okay. But if you have a sniff of, hey, there's something more than performance, something more authentic, now you're in the middle boat, like you're a performer, but at the same time you can feel shit inside. Now the troubles have started because you don't know the full shit.
Because you open the door to empathy. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Close that door and dump your toxic stuff onto your kids.
Yeah. And
that continue the chain of dumping your obligation onto your kids.
Intergenerational trauma. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Scapegoating the children. Scapegoating.
Continue the scapegoating chain.
It's their fault. They came out of me. They're to blame.
And so I think for me, like one of the things I thought I'd share with you is that when that awareness comes, it is a bit unsettling. And then when that unsettles, it can get you into the state of feeling a bit yuck because you're neither here or there. And at that time, this one thing we talked about last time was how when you get dissociated, the narcissistic can just start doing emotional shit and change your state, and you're just not together. And but when it's happening to you, the inner child is doing the same thing. So I get the gut feeling that the biggest narcissistic you'll face is the inner child, because the moment you're dissociated, the inner child will wreak hell on you.
I don't know. I think every person these days, people who like me who wants to improve, keep on reading these blogs and everything. And the other people.
That's a trap.
No.
Embrace.
I'm saying
It's not going to do you
they're
any
all,
good. It's not going to do
Just
any good.
scapegoat. Find
No,
scapegoats to dump your crap on and continue the
complicating
intergenerational
things.
trauma.
I blame Oprah Winfrey for all this, and Dr. Phil.
No, I feel I'm also complicating everything. You just cook, eat, live. Be little bit nice to each other. And if you are upset, just take the car, go somewhere. I don't know. I think it's all very complicated. Maybe partly, the way I read too much and talk to, sent to, I don't know, communicated too much. It's all a problem. I should have just shut up.
Do your role.
Play victim. Really good.
Everyone
That's what I
be
do.
a slave. Be a slave.
Mea culpa, mea maxima culpa. My fault, all my fault.
I just think, lifelong you need to have therapists and not tell anything to anybody. I thought you can tell to your spouse and maybe close relatives, friends and all. I realized that hard way that that's not true.
Yes.
Nobody should know anything except strangers, maybe whom
Never
don't
tell
meet
your
you.
family members your secrets.
Or
Because
the therapist,
Make sure and have a paid for friend, a therapist.
Yeah. So many years later, I realized this because, I was crazy, vulnerable, shared things slowly, and in fact, I found out nobody likes me, So
Yes, see? So if you didn't share, you wouldn't know. And
exactly, because I was
ignorance is
stupid and
bliss.
vulnerable. It's all because I think, when my mom died, that that I was very young and that therapy and all was a new concept. I didn't grow up like that. This American manager told me, you need to see a counselor. She even put a paper on my desk when I came to the country. I didn't go at all. I think biggest mistake,
This has been going on for a long time, Kay. This has been going on for a very long time, hasn't it?
Yeah, I came here 95. My mom.
So what do you think the answer is? So this is like 25 years you've been living like this.
Yeah.
Or longer, is that right?
Yeah, but a
lot of people have told you to go
Just
see a
put your foot on the
therapist.
gas. Like try spending more and take lots of different drugs together and maybe mix in some alcohol and
actually you need
get like a fast car. Get a fast car too.
Get an addiction.
Yeah.
Addictions are fun. That's what I do.
You're promoting pursuing
Hey,
pleasure.
Responsible drinking.
Like she's in a different sort of pain, I think, because it's stuck in the two worlds. In the one place, it's the background, having been probably brought up in India as a performative doll, that you have to do these things. And then you get a sniff of, hey, you can have some freedom and you can do your own shit. Now the two don't marry. So you can either to have integration. The problem is once you see, you can't unsee. So you can't just become a performative doll again, because that won't work out. You've got to figure that out. And so What the hell?
No, I mean, I was never a docile housewife because ever since young, my dad was a professor, so I used to read a lot. So
Hey, I think you're not getting it. So I'll just say it how it is. You are really pissing everyone off. You are really pissing everyone off because you don't realize someone in aerospace is a doll as well. You think just because they can do quantum mechanics, they're smart? They're just other types of dolls. They're just performative pieces of shit. Oh, fuck.
What, you mean the world doesn't care? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Shit.
Really?
The world doesn't care. We've gone there.
You've got
No, actually, the trauma is when you realize that nobody gives a fuck.
How do we go here?
No, actually, the trauma is when you realize that nobody gives a fuck.
Yes, that's the truth.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. That's why these things are happening, Kay. That's why these things are happening.
I just
That's why
made
people
a
put notes on your desk to say go see a shrink. It's why. It's because you know what? That's the reality.
I just made a card for my son a few weeks ago for his birthday.
Man, we're off in another direction.
No, I just
We've
wrote
taken
a
our
quote.
diversion down another street.
Oh,
hey,
I
stay in the
see that
room.
thing with
Stay in the
Mark
room,
now.
Kay.
Because Kay, he asked you something, how you feel. You haven't got a clue.
Shelley?
Shelley's jumping in.
Okay, thanks. But listen, Kate, I was just wondering though, at the end of the day, like from what I can understand, I mean, is that you're looking to them, like your husband, etc., or you want it to be a close family member that you could have, profound conversations with, and you want it to be from a family member that's going to understand. You said you divulge some personal stuff, secrets, but why don't, if you change your perception, what it is, like you could have that in a friend. It doesn't necessarily need to be a family member. I think you're just like really narrow on that. And you can find that in other people that you can be there. But it's like, because if you're always looking for that in a family, they're never going to be able to give that to you. And if you don't want to get divorced, which from what I understand, you do not, this has been going on for 26 years, it's like you have to figure out a way to meet your needs in a different way and not.
I am confused. I just wanted, I don't know why I thought all of you are doing like what Deep does, Socratic questioning or whatever. I don't want to talk about myself, and I'm done with all.
She just wanted a distraction. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, I wanted only distraction in this meeting, so I'm not sure why the topic is going to myself and all these things,
Well, it's going to you because you keep making it about you.
Because you asked, I started replying. I should have been careful and not replied.
Okay.
That might be the lesson, maybe. So, just because a question is thrown out there are techniques to dodge questions. I think we sort of talked about that in the beginning, right? So Brad was trying to teach you maybe, or we could spin it. So these questions are here to teach you that you can dodge questions by not answering them.
Yeah, I learned it today in this meeting. So that's the takeaway for me from this meeting. So,
because we were complaining about narcissist abusers who dodged and shift blame. So we were talking about how it's frustrating from our side, but at the same time, we can use the same tactic.
Right.
So if you have a question that's unsettling or potentially opens a door, you don't have to answer, or you can throw another question back.
No, I started answering, thinking I'm going to, these questions are going to help me, and that's why they are asking. Slowly, I'm realizing.
But sometimes they open doors you don't want open. So.
Exactly. So while talking, I realized it's not working, so I want to stop.
Yes, but only now you're starting to get it. You should have got it earlier.
What's going to work for you, Kay? What will work for you?
Work what?
I don't know. It just sounds
like.
What
is it that you want? What do you want?
Yeah,
That's the
what
question.
will work
What
for
is it
you?
that you want?
No, I'm just looking for new like-minded friends. So I'm still searching.
Do you think you'll ever find them?
Slowly feeling may not, but we'll see.
And what will you do when you find them?
Nothing, just like, some lunch, dinner stuff. That's it.
So why do you think you can't have that now?
I'm not saying I can't have that. Like, it's just that whomever I have right now, everybody has different stuff happening at their life. So they are at a different stage. So they want to talk different things that, that doesn't interest me right now. So I choose to not to participate. Maybe
So if it doesn't, so hang on. So if it doesn't interest you, you're not interested. It's only stuff that interests you,
right,
that you want to talk about. So what I'm saying is, well, we've spent the last hour doing that.
No. It's just like common topics are not there with some of the friends whom I had before. So I have to look for
okay.
some new
What
people.
I'll say is it seems like it's all outside. It's actually not about them. It's not about any of these people. It's about you. They're not going to change.
No, I'm not expecting anybody to change. Deef, can we play some video? Okay, maybe I should just get out of the meeting.
No. The kitchen is getting a bit hot. That's all.
I mean, the formal session is over now.
Too late, she bailed.
Yeah.
No, she bailed.
She left.
Oh, wow. I didn't see.
You have to trap people before you start.
She's just like, no, I don't want to talk. That's why I'll keep talking. I'm not talking. This is me not talking. I'm not saying anything.
You're so close.
So close to
We were
what?
so close to nothing.
It's always the way.
We were close to nothing.
What was the goal? Yes,
No.
close to what?
So what was the goal? Yeah. Well, the point is there is no point.
She was a saint.
There's no point.
She just needed us to tell her she was good.
And we weren't going to do that. And I had empathy for her husband. And that's not part of the
I have
narrative.
empathy for her also because it's that monkey mind that she's going through.
Oh yeah, she's totally stuck.
I
She's
feel for her.
locked in.
I really do. I really feel for her. I have empathy for her. I really do.
I know. I'm just saying, like,
But she's
and her husband.
She can't feel. She's so. What's happened that I'm seeing?
It's actually very, very sad.
Yeah,
very sad.
It's triggering for me just because I could hear a lot of that from
We got very close that last piece.
Well, she had no space
Do
for
you think?
answering. She had no space for answering any question. Anything anyone said, she had an answer before you even finished a sentence. It was like, no, I'm not. You just not even a pause for a thought. No room at all.
Did anybody feel triggered? Like,
I was hugely triggered. She's driving
I
me
was
nuts.
very triggered by very, familiar sort of narcissistic dynamic. And I think
felt
that
she was.
I think we were getting.
I felt
kind
she
of
was
heated
very.
up.
I felt
Yeah.
she was very BPD.
Oh, or yeah, I don't know. All I know is that kind of not
Spiraling,
taking, ownership.
non-logic.
Yeah, I love.
ownership.
I wish I could remember the quote. It was like, "There's all this and everything and all the other, and then my mother died." It was like,
And it was
what?
going everywhere. and she just wanted the spotlight, and it was very difficult for me. It was triggering in so many ways because I knew it was going to go down a spiral.
I
and
feel
it
for
was,
her. I think
and
it's,
then we
I
were
think it's
trying
terrible.
to tell something very important. it is triggering me because of one of my aunties.
Exactly. I was just about to
I
say,
could
but
see
I
in your
just didn't
eyes.
want to go there because I don't
I
want to
know.
keep making it
So
an
she
Indian
is
topic.
the victim. She is the victim, and she
Always.
will
Look
be
at all of you good little
Voice,
codependents. Look at all
that
of you on the
auntie
screen like the
voice
Brady
is so
Bunch.
grating.
You're all being very good little codependents here because you're all trying to rescue it. It's like, no, that's
Oh,
Oh,
you
yeah.
went down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, so we
You did well. You did well.
You're saying we, right, Brad? Because you were in there
Yeah,
too.
I did this. I was there. Guilty as charged. I've got my codependent hoodie on. Right.
That was
I agree.
There were some things that were said that was
It's
shocking.
like home. It's like home, eh? It's just like at home.
The fast car, I think Kurt was saying, or okay, Kurt.
Oh, Kurt.
Yeah, and then while you're at it, why don't you just get a fast car? No,
Yeah.
A bottle of Jim Beam
Don't do that.
and
Just
an
any
8
kind of
ball.
like.
Oh, she was just like, I'm like, I don't need to change, nothing. I'm perfect. I've done everything. Oh, just keep going. Just do what you do. Just throw some fuel on the fire, man. Just keep, put the pedal down.
Right.
So Dave,
Yeah,
my track record is 2 for 2. I've got 2 down. Who else do you want to get rid of? Dan, I'll take Mark as another one. And now that bastard from Australia. Oh my God, he's such a bastard. Sorry.
You gave some nice exposure therapy. You traumatized some of the other Indian members. So. But it was controlled trauma. So.
Asian, let's say Asian.
Oh.
I think that you could relate to.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Well, that was an interesting first session for me. Thank you.
There's no show without punch, kid. This is the way we roll.
I know. It's good.
In the Shire.
Do you think that by doing that, a seed might have been planted that it may at some stage
hopefully
wake up?
Hopefully, but I doubt it. I mean,
I don't. No. Do you think Auntie is doing that? She's thinking about it?
My gorgeous auntie, don't
Masi?
you guess anything about her.
She's gonna
Would
be
you
like,
stop
oh yeah,
impersonating Indian people, you two Indian
totally
people?
changed person.
No, but she thinks she's going through the Kundalini awakening at this point.
Yes.
You
She's
said
claimed
that.
I swear.
Yes.
Like
She's mentioned it.
Kay said that.
She
Yes.
did. It's sad though, because she's just, I don't know, like it was triggering for me. She's saying she has no expectations at all, but she has so many expectations.
Oh my God,
That's what I
yes.
was drawing out. What I was actually playing with, I was drawing out the hypocrisy and the overt gas. She's trying to gaslight us, right? That's what I was getting at.
I don't want anything.
I'm asking her. So, what are your expectations? I don't want anything. But
I don't want anything.
All these things, and then when you get all those things, what will happen? And that's. Look, I probably was a bit. That was a bit cheeky, but
I'm becoming a fan of this because I asked, you see, I was mimicking in a way just to see that, but I thought it would be an easy thing to answer that if it was a good evening, what does it look like?
Sure.
And it doesn't exist.
Yeah. Well, I was laughing because I can't visualize that evening.
No, it's
I'm sorry.
ultimately it's negotiating. Yeah,
the evening.
It's like negotiating with a terrorist. It's like what is enough? Well, nothing's enough. You're like,
it's like
it's like an evening of trying to nail Jello to a wall.
What's that, Shelley? What were you saying?
I was just saying, I was just saying, it's like if it doesn't go exactly how she dictates it, like she wants a profound conversation, but it has to be on the video she sent him.
Yes.
And you have to look at that video
Yes. Yeah.
and have a profound conversation on that video. And if he chokes, like I can, he's gonna. That's probably why he doesn't say much, because anything he says, he gets slammed.
She has no empathy. She has no empathy for anyone. And yet, if you asked her, she loves everybody. And that's the fundamental thing with this. She has no idea of the guy she's married, and she's got no idea about her kids. Got no clue. She thinks she does. She's convinced.
I'm
Yeah,
feeling
but she
sorry for the
doesn't
kid.
care though. I don't think
No, she doesn't. She's got
cares.
no empathy.
She doesn't care about them. She just cares that
She
they
can't
do what.
see them.
Yeah,
She
can't even
doesn't
see
They
them.
don't exist. They're
Yeah.
just a husband-shaped person and a child-shaped
Yes.
person, and they have roles. And why
Yeah.
aren't they're like, this is the appliance I've plugged in. Why isn't it
Yeah,
working?
I don't know if they're a husband-shaped person. It's a husband-shaped obstacle.
Right.
The role
And if
she
he did
wants.
everything, if he did everything that she wanted, she'd still find a problem.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, well that's from the negotiating with terrorists.
Here's
If he did everything, there'd be something else. Yeah.
Yeah.
That group with that deaf guy. Oh,
They just were
so
not a
mean
very
to
good
me.
distraction. They did
No,
not
she
provide
needs to
the
Yes.
proper
No.
distraction.
They didn't do what I wanted. They didn't bend to my will.
Yeah. They should have been entertaining me. That's what the evening was for. Really? Come on.
Okay, so
Having fun?
So what's your problem?
I just want to kind of
So what do you want?
moderation of like, let's not like, you guys know what we're, all of us, it triggered us all.
You seem to know what's going on. You know what's going
In a way,
It triggered us all, and we're getting heated up.
but it's
Who was
like
triggered?
And
Why were you
you'll be
triggered?
okay.
What happened? Nothing happened. What trigger?
Yeah.
I think there's some
I
insight.
thought it was pretty
I gave you a heads
compared
up.
to Dan.
I told you. I mean, I'm not talking about myself. I just came here.
You've done nothing wrong. I don't know what the problem is.
Time passed,
Time
and
passed.
it's like that's exactly what they do, and it's like it's just ingrained in this.
It's not okay. Yeah, that's
So
not okay to us. Yeah, on other people's account. No.
That's why it's so infuriating, because she just dumped everything on us.
Oh yeah.
And that's
And we're still processing it.
Well, it's the no sincere communication with the insincere thing. We fell for it.
She
We're
didn't
sitting
want
there
any.
trying to.
She doesn't
have a
want any
sincere
of this
conversation, yeah.
interaction. Just sit down, shut up, and let me vent, and tell me I'm right.
Yeah, exactly.
And guess what? Wrong group for that one, sweetie.
Yeah, this is the wrong group. She's
Listen
like,
to me,
Choose
bitch.
the wrong group.
Friends.
You'll
I
get a
was
bit
like,
of
"Don't
it.
go
You'll get
to
a bit,
this group."
and then. Sorry.
Yeah, if you want happy tree friends, go to the happy tree friends group.
Yeah, go talk.
What's the group where the woman the one that wears a wig, the woman that wears a wig and disguises her voice, Debbie, that one. She'd be great at that. I think that's a group for her.
Yeah,
You
the
should
Wen group.
introduce-
Jenna, whatever.
Jenna, Wen, Fred,
Yeah.
Smith, whatever her name is.
But the one with the long list of rules.
Yes.
Right. The sunglasses.
Because this wouldn't be allowed.
Yeah.
There's actually only one rule, and the borderline is not to be challenged. Borderline is always right,
Yeah.
as you have seen.
So does this happen? Like, do you guys usually have like one
Only when I turn up.
personality?
Oh no, it happens. It happens occasionally.
Yes.
Sometimes we have.
that
we have-
kind of bombs the whole
Yeah.
sort of.
Sometimes.
If the
So
band
does it
breaks.
every time?
Well, Deef will have a lesson often prepared, and we will usually adhere somewhat to it, and then occasionally someone will drop in and sort of claim the limelight, but not claim it. Why are you talking about me? What do you think about me? That sort of thing. And then Deef will, if it's entertaining enough, Deef will just let it happen.
Which he is doing.
Deef is much more grounded than I am. Deef's more grounded than I am because he just lets it go. Right, just lets it go. Well, I'll just get to a point. I can't fucking deal with this anymore.
I know. And then he did at the end, Deef. At the end, you were like the independent, self-sufficient. Oh wait, no, I'm just writing notes for myself. Excuse me. Hold on.
Look at you, you're so
intensive
diligent.
short-term psychotherapy, right? Where you were like, what we were saying before, that we don't try to, we deflect and the person deflects and talks about another topic, and you were kind of turning that around on her to understand. Do you know what I'm talking about at the end?
at the end of his formal session.
Yeah. He was just, he basically was just saying, you know, well, like in the beginning, we were talking about, you know, deflecting and people
Way
changing
too subtle.
Yeah, that's
the indirect
But I
stuff.
saw it.
Yeah,
I was
that's
like,
that's Steve's method of throwing a lifeline out. Like, okay, if you're a sane human, here's what you might notice that you might want to pull back, and we'll get back to our topic here. And if they don't grab the lifeline, if they just like, then that's when you see the shift
And then
in Deep's mischievous smile. That he's like, okay, you can hang yourself with that rope.
And he tells you to smoke crack cocaine.
Yeah, yeah.
So just like narcissists are unavailable, and so this is the feelings that I had, that, you know, between a codependents are the nice guys, the narcissists are the horrible, yucky
We're
ones.
innocent. We're saints, man.
always, always.
So
But
my
then,
question to the group is, how could we have had? Oh, sorry, Pikachu, go on. Sorry,
I'm
mate.
a
I
little
interrupted you.
offended.
So what I thought was that the codependence, because I could relate to a lot of K, like 10 years ago, I could relate to that. Like
Absolutely.
I'm a doll. I'm a fucking doll. Like I do these things, and I get that supply because you're a nice guy, because you know, he's always there for the family.
I can do this. I can do it too. I can do this character.
You're only allowed to do that accent because it's your culture. If I do it, it's racist.
Exactly.
So continue.
No, I love when
No,
you.
no.
So, you know, so my feeling is now becoming the codependents are the actual assholes, not the narcissists, because they are the, you know, because the village is fucked up because of codependence. Because, and one of the things you guys might not know, and this has been infuriating me, in Indian spirituality, a lot of the spirituality is about performance. Like, you know, life is a drama, and, you know, and they've weaponized it. And one of the things is called the Shanti part, which is like a peace prayer. So to have peace is the most important thing in life, and therefore you cannot make good decisions. And they've weaponized that as well. So the whole culture, apart from a few really smart narcs, everyone else suffers. And I think Kay's a victim of that upbringing. So I feel for that horrible. Yeah, what do you do? But that's what it is.
Yeah, I'm glad I was born and raised in America, and then just adopting the Vedic philosophy and Hindu when I want to.
Oh, from the outside is different then.
Oh yeah, I mean, I feel, I'm just saying it to make fun of myself, but yeah, I feel grateful that I can at least do that. But yeah, it's
She'll be back.
yeah,
back.
exactly.
Debbie
And that's where, yeah, I wish to hear more women in this group talk instead of Mr. Brad. I'm just kidding.
I'll have to put my fresh iPods in for this
Brad,
one.
you know. Come on now.
Good.
You don't have to pull any punches with Brad. That's all right.
It's
Just
not a punch.
kick him when he's down. It's fine.
Not a punch.
He likes it. No, he likes it.
Is he okay? Now I'm being all codependent. Like, is he okay? Are you okay?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, don't sweat it.
He's hurt to the
now
core.
He's doing the
frozen.
treatment.
Yes.
No, he's playing with his audio.
Silent treatment. No, that's intentional silent treatment.
So I'm just saying that
he's doing that kung fu movie.
Yeah,
his
all
mouth
about
silent
balance.
treatment. Yes.
I like balance when there's women speaking, Holly. And
Well,
I liked it when she was talking.
Yeah, none of the outspoken women generally, except for maybe Holly occasionally, are here this evening. Most of the women who
Adriana.
speak up, like Adria and Brenda and our
Allison.
Allison, yes, she's been missing. I don't know what's up with
Allison and Debam.
Oh, she's too. Yes, I'm back. Sorry, I'm having some technical challenges.
Okay.
Sorry about that. Sorry, you were
I'm
shooting
sorry.
at me saying.
What?
Sorry, you were saying that I'm
She was very concerned that she injured you, and I said, "Fuck that! Just kick him when he's down. He loves it."
yeah.
I was being codependent. I was like, listen,
Oh,
is
God
he
love you.
okay?
Get
Because
out.
I'm just making, some light of it, of balance.
Get me a drink. No, look at me.
Here's like,
Yeah, look, the difference is, well, I got nothing to lose, right? And I tread gently, but there are sometimes it gets a bit egregious for me. And it's I agree, it's probably a trigger. But my view is I can learn something from this. But,
no, I enjoyed. I was saying
I will push, but I know that there's and you just end up pushing them away. That's the problem, because there's actually nothing there. There's nothing actually to push against.
Yeah, Brad will push it because it's like, we're wasting our time. Let's get on to something else. And he's good for that.
And he's good for
He wants
that.
to fix it. He wants to fix
Thank
it.
you,
He
Holly.
wants to fix it.
Yes, exactly.
Do you want to fix it, Brad?
Solutions.
Do I?
No,
he just doesn't have patience for it. He's like, I don't have patience for this crap. And he pushes it.
What I'm
getting at, what I'm getting at is they always
I mean, this is the
Don't use my things
party,
Tell us,
right?
Brad. Tell us. Mansplain. Tell us.
Push Brad now.
Hey, bring it
Get some
on.
payback.
Look, I live the artist's life. It was crazy.
I was crazy. The artist's life.
Crazy,
Just
crazy
I'm just
time.
way out there.
All
Yeah.
borderlines.
I'll be dreaming about that and like waking up and be like, crazy, the artist's life, crazy, the artist's life, crazy. And Crack Baby. And I'll be
Where's
like,
the Crack
what
Baby?
is this?
Yeah, I'm watching a Neocon. He's
Yes.
amazing. He's doing some amazing stuff. And that piece of art he does. But anyway, back to me. So all I'm getting at with when we're presented with these people, I like to challenge their narrative, because otherwise they'll just suck all the oxygen out of the room and we just go round in circles. But the reality is there's nothing there. And I think that's what's really most jarring, is when challenged. Dan did the same thing. When we challenged Dan in a similar way, they just disappear. And Kay's done the same thing. And I think I'm not trying to make them go away. I'm just trying to see, is anyone there? Hello, is anyone home?
No, yeah.
No,
it's about them.
100.
That's their own struggle.
But that's it. I think he doesn't want to enable anybody, because he's like, okay, we've heard the word salad like 100 times now. Like, what's the point here? The reason is they don't want any point. It's just go continue on in the world. Salad. It's like tangent.
The point is there is no point.
Exactly. Yeah. There is none. Yeah.
And that's my view. I'm being a bit selfish, but my view is learning as a codependent that's actually the case. So that's your reality.
Yeah.
The reality when you're dealing with your narcissistic borderline, pick a box, ex, wife, husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, mother, father, they're all the same. What is it that you want? And they just want you to fight with them so that they have something to push up against. All she's looking for is to push up against. And when you say, well, I'm not going to give you that, and she disappears, that's
goes to Mars.
Yeah, she doesn't want
I don't know, maybe there's more to learn. I don't know if I want to learn it.
I'm sublime, so I don't have wants. I'm above all that. And I'm just, this is the kind of thing that is in that reading.
Masi.
Masi.
Masi. Oh, auntie. I don't want to deal with this.
You're not allowed to do these accents, I keep telling you.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's a good accent.
But it's
I don't want to hear all this.
Actually,
No.
to waste your fucking
I
time.
have more important things to do.
I don't know, but that's just me. I mean, I get to a point where it's like, okay, I've had enough now. What is it that you want? And she'll keep turning up every week. If we didn't challenge it, we'll just go on and on and on and on, in my view.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe there's something to learn. It's not my group, although I pretend sometimes it is. It's Steve's group, but, she doesn't want to be challenged. It's okay.
Then the big question comes, what do I want, you see? it's not that easy. So when you so what do each of us want?
The reason I asked her, can you have empathy for your husband?
Yes.
And she
That was a
can't.
great question. That was a great question.
But if she's codependent or whatever, we struggle with having empathy for another person. Even codependents do that. I have empathy for her because I Can't imagine what it must be like to live like that for all these years. Horrible. But trying to put yourself in the we don't do that ourselves. We codependents typically go into relationships and try and get other people to fix us, and that's sort of what I was trying to draw out. But
That's me. Totally.
We all do it.
Yeah, and like as codependents, we're always managing other people's chaos. It's so codependent. We want a solution. Like, oh, we got to figure out the solution for this.
I don't want a solution.
We've got to work on this, guys.
Yeah.
We did.
We are. No, I'm saying our own codependent mess of ourselves. I can't
We're not
stand
that
it.
far
I'm
off.
constantly like trying to.
We are not
I
that
don't
far
know.
Kay's doing in many respects. There's a lot of the reason we all triggered is because you can see Kay in us. Maybe I've done that sort of stuff in the past, expecting a partner to meet all those needs.
Yeah. Yeah, it's painful.
Spend all that energy to mellow down Kay versus the first two.
That's a lot of energy I had to do to get her to the level that she was at.
Yeah, you expended a lot of energy.
You didn't see the first meeting where she was just spiraling in person.
You expended a lot of time trying to get her to a point where she was palatable.
Contained,
but,
yes, palatable.
I couldn't find her palatable no matter what. So
As soon as she started
Has more
talking,
empathy
it
than
was
all of
my aunt. Yeah.
Has more empathy.
It's the way you speak. It's loaded with victimhood and sacrificialness, and I have been, and the issue is that in that culture, that is like a good wife. Who does that is the performance. So it's so tragic. The whole
beautiful
90% of the civilization.
yes, Deef number 2.
May come back to the West.
Beautiful.
West has its own issues. West has its own issues.
I know it.
Yeah, it's like
so selfish, so independent.
I actually
Out for
now feel a bit
themselves.
bad. I feel a bit bad that Kay's done that. I feel like,
We're back on
that's sad.
Okay.
But,
Yeah.
what do you do? Do you just let it just continue to, I don't know. Nothing, no matter what we did to steer it, it always came back.
I thought for a moment that she's gonna for a moment I thought she's gonna say, oh, let me just see, these guys are actually on my side.
So now this is disappointing because earlier you guys were celebrating victory. Now you guys are getting pitiful.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Well, so what if we just?
I'm happy she's gone. Sorry.
See, Kurt's still celebrating. Why
I'm
can't you guys take
fine
the
with
victory?
Where are you with it?
What did Hannah say? Is this any of my concern?
I know. I can go
I know
on
this
and
woman.
on, but
This is not my
have
concern.
Another party separately.
the kids' video.
Whoa.
This is not my concern. I do not know this woman.
He does better accents than all of you, I'm afraid. And
Oh yeah. He's amazing.
Much better accents.
Who?
Leacon.
Oh, yeah.
So, Dave, you dodged the question. Where are you with all this?
Which part?
Debbie.
The whole K thing.
I like that the codependents are having this little victory lap. I thought that was productive.
We are processing it like crazy.
I don't think you got through to her, so.
Yeah, I agree.
At least you got a victory.
No.
So
What was the
Hollow.
point of what you
I think it's
doing?
because it's a hollow victory. We're all going,
you got a hollow victory, but
Yeah.
that's
what
something.
did we actually get?
Hey, I'm just happy I don't have to listen to her. Really, I just tuning in and not hearing that voice.
Yeah,
that is a victory.
I think you got on here and I was like, oh my God, he's just gonna hear her. And that's all she this one was
that was it. Yeah.
I was like,
it.
who's gonna stop her from with that strong voice?
You could have done. Why didn't you jump in?
Oh yeah, my first time. Excuse me, I think we've had enough. Like, who are you?
Hey, we've had worse first timers. Why not? Bring it on, man.
Okay. All right, let's bring it on right now. Let's try this again.
She'll be back. I mean, I don't think this even penetrated. I just think
It is possible. She might be back.
Yeah, I think so. I think she just got
And I'll be and
that
you
was
can
it.
unite around a common enemy, which is the Aussie. That's perfect.
Well, who are the narcissists in her life?
Her and
I don't think there are.
Her husband. And...
No, she said she didn't think
I'm
he
not a
was.
doctor.
So what brought her to this group?
Oh.
Time
borderlines are quite codependents.
Meet friends.
That's why we get a lot of borderline people here because they're codependent and it's everyone else's fault.
I forgot what her story was. Why do you care, Harvey?
Oh, no, I was just curious.
Because we have to know who the narcissist is.
Yeah. Well, that's what we're here for, right? Narcissistic
the
relationships.
mystery
But what I
still is
observe
continuing.
is that the narcissistic relationship is not necessarily that there's a narcissist. Sometimes the narcissist arrives here, and that's the source of the narcissistic relationship. So they're in the right group.
Oh, they're in the right group. Yes, we should invite more of the narcissist side.
Yeah, we need dial a narcissist or dial a borderline.
We need some representation. Yeah, we should get Ben back here.
We need
yeah.
equal representation.
Oh, where's Ben?
Yes.
Yeah, we haven't seen Ben in a long
Yes,
time.
we do. We need our practice.
Yeah, Ben featured prominently a while back.
Yeah.
Yes, he only stuck around for like 4 meetings or 5.
Yeah, he had an outsized impact.
But he got upset when you were gap on
when we were attacking Brenda. Yes. He accused us of flashing our dicks or something. I don't know. Stroking our
dicks. That was all getting a bit weird. That was getting weird. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds weird, guys. I'm just all I heard.
We
was...
didn't actually. I wasn't there. I'm an innocent. I wasn't there. It was him down there.
I may have been provoking, but I think Tony was the reason that the creep vibe turned into something that Ben named in a sexual manner.
Are you sure you want to continue discussing this?
I'm not bringing it up. I have no expectations. I'm not saying anything.
I mean, I just find this like, whoa.
Shall I? Such a prick.
I just hope that Kate, I'm like, what if she probably went, I hope she didn't go and like spend tons of money, on shopping or because like.
Hey, that's awesome. That's good for the economy. It's good for all of
GDP go up.
No,
yeah,
Kate only
she'll
does
go out and get
shopping
a
on
speeding ticket, on her way to the
$200 budget. She does cheap shopping. She doesn't do expensive shopping.
I feel like she just felt super misunderstood, and she's like, okay, I feel misunderstood by these people. I'm misunderstood by the world, and now I'm just gonna like.
That's because she's a victim.
But that's her pattern.
She's really sad.
Her pattern.
But I think the irony is she was completely understood, Shelley.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. I'm just saying, like, I was just putting myself in her situation for a second. Like, the way she was reacting is like, oh, trust me, I for sure see this, but I'm just trying to put myself in her perspective of us. Yeah. And I just was like, she has no clue, like zero.
Yeah, but that's what BPDs do. I mean, that's
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you want to work on yourself, here's the place to do it because we're going to challenge you.
Yeah.
Yeah, as annoying as I found her voice, I would have helped her if she were willing to look at any of her own issues.
Yeah.
No,
but
she doesn't
helped her.
No, totally.
Well, assisted in poking holes in her bullshit.
That's not helping her. She don't want that. She told you.
I big thrill to call
potato. I call it helping. Whatever.
It's the best thing I've done all week.
You're such a good codependent, Kurt. It's so good. All right, so can someone please bring a borderline next week or narcissist so we can play with them again? That would be fun.
How do we get back to like, or shall we start meditating?
What?
Let's try it. No, I'm being serious, dude. Because not to control the conversation, nor to feel like we need a something for entertainment or to solve a problem.
Isn't that what we're here for? We're here for entertainment. What,
So,
what are you talking about?
Juhi, how are you feeling? You okay?
What do you mean?
Are you all right?
Are you feeling paranoid?
Are you feeling a little bit? Have we rattled you a little bit?
Okay, so here, I'm the one that's in the hot seat. Okay. Well, I'm fine. I'm fine. Okay. There's no problems.
No
I'm just
expectations?
here. No, nothing. I'm okay. I'm just,
How did you feel when all that went down and then she bailed on us?
I felt okay about it. I felt that she was going to do that. It's familiar to me. I've encountered, those kind of, I've had a familiar dynamic, and it's just, it happens.
No closure, hit and run, no closure.
And to me, it was just more of this, she was going to use this and then exhaust herself. And then it just goes on and ends. Right. So what is the real interesting part of this is how we're all interpreting it, and it was triggering. And so that's what was for me. So that's how I felt about it. And now I'm just realizing more now that how codependent I am. I mean, I know that I am. I've always been that way. That's been my what is so funny? Yeah.
I don't see codependence. She's perfectly normal. How are you codependent? What did you do?
Oh, are you kidding me? I'm not normal. Who's normal? Who is normal?
Yeah, I thought I saw a little unicorn. How would anyone else react to this? That you have the normal unicorn hat, right?
You're talking very calmly. You aren't anxious. You aren't freaked out. You've been pretty mellow. What? Where's the codependence? Especially for a new person. Shelly came. She was all broken her first meeting. For a new meeting, new person. You're not very codependent.
As a first person, I'm gonna seem very cool and everything's okay.
Yeah, you're doing that. That's
I think I'm doing a good job. I think I'm doing 90.
You're doing a remarkable job. Yes,
I think I'm doing 100.
We're very proud.
Yeah, thank you. And I think I'm doing good. But really, what's important is that that we
the spotlight on someone else.
What is important? I mean, do we all have a heart?
Yeah, I was waiting for the how are you going to fill that in here? What is important?
Yeah, there is. Where are you going? You're going now. She's going over this way. Remember when Brad was like,
I was with you. I was with you. You were doing okay as a newbie, but now I'm questioning. I don't know.
Okay, but don't scare her. Let's. and like even my first meeting, I was okay. It was like the second, third, so give her a chance. She has to work up to us.
No. We'll have her in tears by probably November. So that'll be right.
It's not true. Don't worry.
I think Juhi fits in perfectly here.
Thanks, Holly. Yeah. I don't know if that's a good thing or not.
You're our flavor of crazy.
Perfect.
That's a great response.
Tell us about your mother. Tell us about your father.
And how did that make you feel?
How did that make you feel?
I like that it's very playful and we can laugh at ourselves.
Oh, we're hilarious. The problem is other people don't share that. That's all right.
Well, I think that the good ones will stick around, right? And then I always want
just the codependence. Okay. The codependence will hang around.
We're just worried that Deef's not going to be okay if we leave.
Well, the problem is I'm burning through
right now.
I tend to burn through too many of I tend to burn through too many of Deef's sort of lab experiments. That's the problem.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm like, now I feel like we're in an insane asylum. Thank you, Brad. And
We need another
we're
Mark
like,
and another
Chief,
Dan,
can
right?
we go now? Like, can I leave? What do you think, Deep? How are we doing today?
Huh?
Oh my god.
What?
He's not going to give you jack shit.
He's already filled his sample information in for the last 5 minutes. He's not. He'll check in. He'll check back in a little bit.
Yeah, getting his codependent high right now, all of us.
Oh yeah.
It's the exposure.
And I am your codependent leader.
Yeah, it's the live fire exposure that we love here.
At least we're not like what?
Every fortnight, you'll need to bring in another victim for me to to burn at the stake.
Yeah,
okay?
the blood of a BPD virgin. Yes.
Shelly, I'm scared.
Reel them in. Knock them over one by one.
Brad, maybe you can
They're highly traumatized by borderlines, so